Good evening, everyone. This is Julie from Patchworks, and we are here with another fun program. So it's always a party at Patchworks. Let's get this party started. Woot woot. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining me tonight. We have a really special program planned. We are going to be talking about the beautiful Aurifil Color Builders box. The Aurifil boxes come in this beautiful little packaging, and this month, this is the fourth in the series, and it is called the Verona Mauve. One of the fun things that we do in our Aurifil Club is we give a dramatic reading of the description of the colors. An evening stroll through the narrow streets of Verona leads you to an outdoor cafe in the piazza overlooking the Colosseum. The sun is just starting to set, casting a soft light on the magnificent stone structure. You find a table, order a cocktail, and take in the jovial sounds of Figaro's aria from Rossini's Tu Barberie di Siviglia, taking it place inside. Colors 6724, 2375, and 6731. Very beautiful colors. Let's look and see what our colors are this month. You can see that I left them inside the packaging here, so there might be a little bit of a shine, but there's a gorgeous light neutral here, and then we have a warm and a cool mauve, or mauve, shall you say. And with the Patchworks Aurifil Club, we like to pair it with a little bit of fabric. So we have selected 4 gorgeous solids, and in each of the fabrics you receive a gorgeous fat eighth of the fabric. So you receive a total of a ½ yard of fabric every single month. The projects that we start with often start with the Aurifil Designer of the Month blog that is featured on Auribuzz. So Auribuzz, that is A-U-R-I, like Aurifil, BUZZ.com. That has a bunch of really amazing things. And if you love what you've seen here and are not a participating member in the club, you can feel free to download that inspiration there. Our friend Pat Sloan also hosts a quilt along with this, and she features all sorts of different fun inspirations for the Aurifil projects. The designer of the month is Carolina Asmussen, and there's a really beautiful story written for her. And this is a combination of piecing with some interesting interesting piecing here, some raw edge applique, and then we have some stitching. So you can see that we did a little bit of stitching here with the sun, and then we stitched Verona with some free motion stitching here for those letters. We chose to pair a dark gray with this that we had in our stash, and feel free to pair any color for the outline. The outline was taken from the handout that was given. So we used a reversed 4 fusible here. These two together, you can attach them, draw it out, and what you do is after you cut it out, you flip it over and place it. All of these, when you print them out on your home machine, home printer, you want to make sure that your print guide is at 100% scale. You want to make sure, a lot of times our home printers like to reduce to fit to page, so you want to make sure that this definitely measures 1 inch. Heidi did a great job recreating Verona in the fabrics with these beautiful mauves. we had a lot of fun with this, and we thought, we can't travel to Verona right now, and we're spending a lot of time in Milwaukee. So wouldn't it be fun to do a skyline of Milwaukee? Aha! So we have our own artistic rendition of what might be a Milwaukee skyline. Feel free to fill in whatever skyline you have, and you could put a sunset here and do other fun writing. Maybe we should have just the silhouette of patchworks. That could be lots of fun. So this is our fun Verona project. We want to share with you as well, since I wasn't able to present to you in March, I'm going to share with you the beautiful March box. So let me share that with you. And that one was a little bit more challenging of a block. So what we decided to do is that we went ahead and we borrowed from the Moda Blockheads sampler. We chose Block by Jen Kingwell. So let me show you what that block was. It was the Baldwin, and it is paper piecing. So very fun. Our fabrics for last month were these gorgeous greens. And so that means that our thread must have been a gorgeous green as well. So we had Dolomite greens with these yummy, yummy threads. Ha ha ha. Isn't that fun? So, are you ready for the dramatic reading? I'm sure you are. Okay, here we go. The lush green of the alpine meadows stretches in front of you, forming a path that leads to the gigantic gray peaks of the Dolomites. Fresh, clean air fills your lungs, and the faint clatter of cowbells can be heard in the distance. Lago di Brais sparkles in the distance, sharing a dazzling display of colors that seem to shift from emerald to sapphire under the light of the midday sun. Colors 2908, 1147, and 2890. When we look at our block that we're putting together, it is a foundation piece, and Lisa had made our block for us. Printing out the template here, she thought that it would make a tremendous help if you went ahead and you wrote in what colors you wanted to appear in your finished block, because sometimes it can be a little confusing. And so if we look here, we have two components which make up each quadrant of the larger block. And we had used our fabrics here. When you are paper piecing, it is really nice to print out on Carol Doak's foundation paper. It's a newspaper print that works really well. It goes into your printer and is very easy to stitch on and easy to tear away. When you're working with paper piecing, you want to do a rough cut around it. You want to make sure that you actually have paper outside of the printed lines, because we need to trim later. We're not going to go through paper piecing completely, but you do start with some smaller pieces. And actually we can go through steps all the way. How fantastic is that? So we want to print out our pieces, label everything nice, and then what we are going to do is we are going to start piece by piece. So first off, you are going to position your 1 and 2. You can position your 1 and 2 together. You line it up, and then you are going to stitch so that you can flip back. Now you can see here that our piece is oversized. It's very important to have an oversized piece because you need to make sure that, here we have it in color here, with our oversized piece that everything fits, okay? So you can either use fussy cut things. I like to use chunks of fabric or rectangles. It is a little bit wasteful. However, it is much easier to trim down than have to worry about having a small cut shape that you then have positioned wrong. We're then going to position the A3, put our right sides together, stitch, 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 fold it back, and then finish with the green. After you have all of your components together, you're going to trim it down to the line. That is part A of the block. Part B of the block is with slightly different colors. After your A and B are together, you still have your paper on. You're going to line these up, stitch, 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 press it open. After your block is together, you can take your papers off. Very fun block, a variation of what you can do. This one, as I said, was a substitute block that we had found on the Blockheads 3. Blockheads 3 is a quilt-along that you can find on the Moda Fabrics website under their quilt-along tab. I haven't been able to see you for a while, and so we thought that we would also have a bonus project in there. On the Auribuzz blog, they shared on Sunday, I believe it was Sunday, this really pretty mini quilt called Everything Will Be Okay. It is, and I'm going to, of course, say this wrong because I don't speak Italian, Andrà tutto bene. So everything will be okay. And it is created by the Whole Circle Quilt Studio. The full pattern is on the Auribuzz website. And we chose 6 beautiful fat quarters for paper piecing the colors of the rainbow. And then we used a grunge blue and a grunge white for our clouds and sky background. If you had wanted to, there is the pattern for hand embroidery or machine embroidery of the phrase, everything will be okay. And also you can see the inspiration of an original of this that had actually used scrappy colors for each of the bands in the rainbow, which would be really, really exciting. For alternate inspirations on this particular mini quilt, check out Pat Sloan's Quilt Along. She shared some applique versions of this project as well. If you really enjoy all of our Aurifil fun, we already had 2 other boxes. We had a January and a February. So we had the Milan Gray and the Pompeii Red. The fabrics that you received for those were beautiful blues and grays and reds to black. And we had some fun projects that we had with that. During the course of this, we are sharing a 12-inch finished block that you can turn into a sampler. You can make mini quilts, or you can just collect some fun solid fabric along with collecting the beautiful threads. If you still wanted to join, going back to the beginning of the year, we do have membership available for the full year. I hope you enjoyed our little presentation today, and I will see you soon. Thanks for joining us.